Hello and welcome back to the Genesis Designs and Modelcraft bench and another quick look review. And it's something a little bit different than the norm because this one is a lorry, as you can see. This is a Miniart 1/35th US 1.5 ton 4x4. It's a truck by Chevrolet, and this is a civilian version of the military truck. I think it was affectionately known as the Deuce and a Half, although I don't know if that one was a later version, I'm not really sure, but it's the 1.5 ton 4-wheel drive lorry. I know I'm not well known as a vehicle modeller, or especially a truck modeller. In fact, I've only previously completed one truck model, which was also in 35th scale. It was the Zvezda Kamaz 6x6. It's a build that I did for the hobby company a while back. And if you're interested, there are photographs of that on my Facebook page. If you delve back far enough, you'll find them. That was my first truck model that I can recall anyway. And this one has come about as a result of the Interesting Modelling Company. So those of you that follow the Interesting Modelling Co. and see me around other places will know that I do pop up on their video podcasts every now and again. And sit and chat with Jonathan about various things. And it was in the preview of the Miniart catalogue show that we did towards the beginning of the year that we said, really, being such fans of Miniart kit as they are on that channel, it would be remiss to not have a Miniart group build. So that's why I have this model, because it's Miniart and we're going to do this group build in May. So I thought I'd do this quick inbox and get it out and get it up so that anybody who maybe follows me or the Interesting Modelling Company and wants to get in on it, has got a couple of weeks to go out and find something by Miniart that they fancy building. So it's just going to be a group build. We're going to call it Miniart May. It's going to run through May and potentially into June, because a lot of Miniart kits are quite complex. And yeah, we're all just going to build something by Miniart together. So I decided to do a quick review on this. So I got this from Models for Sale. I visited Vince up there about a month ago and picked this up. This is the exact one I wanted. It cost £35. It's a reasonable amount really for a little 35th scale lorry. But let's see what you get in the box and see if we think it's worth it, shall we? So, look at this. Right, let's get everything out. All the sprues seem to be packed in one bag. So, minimal bag opening noise at least for you all to sit through. Is it a peely bag? I think it is. No, it's not. Like a bad Christmas present unravelling, is it? Let's cut this bag up and have a look inside. There we go. Those cats are out of the bag. Let's start with this biggest one at the bottom. I'm going to get them all. They're all stacked together and interlocked themselves. Good Lord. Well, this is a pile, isn't it? I'm actually going to count these sprues. I'm going to pause the video a second while I sort this all out. I'm going to count these sprues because there are many. Okay, 21. 21 sprues in this kit. It's absolutely mental. It already looks worth £35 just straight away from just looking at that. But let's get started with this. This is the largest one, and it is coincidentally sprue A. And it contains all kinds of things. I can see tow hitches, leaf springs, axles, bits of engine, prop shafts or drive shafts, a fuel tank. It's probably a spare wheel just there. There's the hood and parts of the body, all of which is moulded really nicely. There is some flash, you can see, but it mostly doesn't seem to be in the areas that actually matter to us. Obviously this part notwithstanding. I'll bring it up a little closer because the detail on these has to be seen to be believed, I think. So here we've got the side panels for the front of the vehicle, and you can see Chevrolet imprinted upon them, along with some really nicely done louvers. They are not, in fact, no they are, with a little bit of help from a fine scalpel blade and a steady hand. They will be open louvers, very nice. The tyre, or spare wheel, has various markings on it. It says Master Grip, US Army, US Special Service, and 750-20 on there. Lovely stuff. But what you can see from this sort of close-up looks that I'm giving you is just immense amounts of detail, and all very, very finely moulded indeed. The sprue joints are relatively sensible, they're not too big and not too small, and everything appears to have been moulded correctly. We'll go again, some more really beautifully done detail. That's sprue A, the biggest one. And we do have a whole host of multiple sprues here, various ones where we have two the same. So this is BJ, it looks like. Two of these. I do have a bit of paint on my fingers, I apologise. It's an occupational hazard. Don't know. I'm not going to try and guess what all these parts are, as I said. I'm not an expert on these things by any means. We've got two BAs, obviously wheels and tyres. So most of the wheels moulded as one, and then you've got a sidewall to put into the back of it. Almost disappointed that there isn't a valve stem in there. Maybe it's a separate part that I haven't seen yet. And we got here BC, so these are all Bs, just the sub Bs and subs. What's this? Probably mud flaps, headlamps, a few bits of wheel detail. That's two of them again. What else have we got multiples of? Here we have barrels. This is a sprue AC. Obviously barrels. I probably won't actually be using these for the build I have planned. There's another. This is AB. Some smaller barrels. No doubt come in handy at some point. What else have we got multiples of? I think that might be it. Okay. Chassis rails. EA. Just shows you this isn't a big thing. It's not a big model. Main chassis rail obviously runs the length of the model. It won't overhang much at either end, and that is just over 6 inches long. It's an awful lot of parts for what is not a very large model. There's EF, sprue EF, and this looks like some leaf springs and a bumper bar. Some parts of the truck bed. And this is more truck bed parts here. This one is CD. All of these sprues have got 2 letters apart from A, it seems. Main truck bed. A few smaller parts there. 2 tiny sprues is what we've got here. FB and FD. Don't know. Dashboard and rear view mirror, among other things. It's beautifully done. I wonder if we've got dial decals in there. On the decal sheet, we'll see in a minute. We have a man, a figure. He is not an army man, he seems to be a civilian. has a cloth cap. Spruce C. Bit more flash and whatnot on this. This is potentially part of another set that's just getting snipped off and reused in different kits. Then we have sprue BF, and this is quite clearly the engine. Goodness me. That's all there. Outrageous. And the final two sprues we have here, FA, and this is some body parts clearly, the doors, the firewall, steering wheel, windscreen frames, a few smaller parts. Just absolutely remarkable amount of detail on all of these parts. And the last one is FE, and this is clearly your sort of main body panels. We've got a separate internal headliner panel. I've built 1/16 car model kits that don't have that feature. Not recently, I might add, but I have. Oh dear, we've got some damage here. So the windscreen pillar is broken away from the roof there. What I'll no doubt do is actually glue that back together whilst it's still on the sprue and held in position by all of the mounting points. See, snapped. Tiny bit irritating, but it's no big deal. Alright, that's all the plastic parts, 21 sprues worth. And then we have this mysterious little envelope and a little tiny transparency packet. Transparencies, very basic, very simple, flat transparencies that if for any reason you took a dislike to these, or broke them, or scratched them, or lost them, you could simply replace them with clear acetate, but they are very nice anyway, so I wouldn't see that there's any need. They're not even thick. Are thicker than they should be for the scale, yes, but they're certainly not overly thick. That's G1. And you've got this teeny tiny decal sheet. It's got some assorted number plates. Florida, Florida, New York, Texas, Philippines and Indiana. Then a selection of data plates and sort of serial number cards, and indeed we do have instrument dials. Right in the middle there is a logo printed in Ukraine. Can't quite read it, but it might say Ecograph, I'm not sure. That's a really neat little decal sheet though. Really nice. And what's in here? I bet it's photo etch, isn't it? It's very tightly attached to the box. Let's get some tweezers on the job. Yeah, that's what we needed, tweezers. Yes, it is photo etch. It's that stuff that's laminated in the sticky plastic, which is good. It helps to stop these kind of items from becoming damaged in transit, and the fact that it's in a proper little card wallet like that will help no end too. Clearly a selection of radiator grills and odds and sods. A neat little... Ooh, camera doesn't like that, does it? Let's do it from here. A very neat little photo etch sheet. I'll put that back into its mystery wallet. Keep it safe. You see why we said this build may lurk into June a little, because 21 sprues from 1/35th scale lorry. Absolute madness. Okay, so let's look at the instructions. It's an A4 booklet, shiny smooth paper with a very attractive picture of a blue lorry. Highly detailed plastic model kit, I think it is. And unlike every other instruction booklet I've ever looked at, we start off with the colour arrangements. So, included in the kit, you may build a yellow and green lorry. This is the Indiana truck, USA, 1940s. I do not know if these are based on anything real or if they're just made up. I'll say that now. A blue one from Texas. And then we get into the actual instructions. So maybe the others are at the back. Yeah. A white one with a red trim from Florida. Red one from New York. And a green one from the Philippines. Not army green, I might add, but green with cream wheels. On the back, some adverts for other kits. As I don't know if those are based on anything in reality or if they're just exemplary. Sprue layouts, obviously 21. 21. I don't know how many parts are in this. I don't think it says anywhere. Colour chart is calling out in Vallejo, Mr. Colour, 8K Real Colour, Mission Models, Ammo of MiG, and Tamiya, and the name. So that's very comprehensive. You can't actually see that, it's down the bottom there. This is a thing, this format of instructions don't fit under my camera and I always forget. Construction then, chassis. Many separate parts going into that, as you can see. The addition of shading here, I don't know if it really, it means this is the bit you've already built and you're adding to it, so that's adds a little clarity to the drawings, I think, and could get a little bit overwhelming quite easily. The Sylvester Kamaz that I did was equally complex as this, and the instructions didn't feature anything like this, and it really was confusing at times as to where you were supposed to put things with that one. As you can see, lots of different parts going in here to make this stuff up. It's a photo etch battery tray for your plastic battery, which has got all that detail on it, and then you put a lid on it. It's an assembler's dream. It's that very comprehensive engine. There's a chassis nearing completion there, so we switch our attention to the body. Add that headliner and then just build the rest of it up. This is all going to have to be painted before and as it's constructed. It's going to be a massive issue to do it any other way, looking at this. It's just that tiny cab, and it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 construction steps just to build that cab. Just probably not much bigger than a Tamiya pot when it's done. And as you can see, the side panels go on, mud guards, running boards, however you want to put it. Wheels. Oh gosh, that looks fun. So we've got a photo etched grille for that protection panel for the headlamps. Just get the box out for you. This rather wonderful creation here. It's supplied in photo etch, but luckily Miniart have been kind enough to supply a jig to fold it on. That's super handy. Photo etch wiper blades. which you have to fold. And photo etch parts that dress up the radiators too, front and rear. Remarkable. That's the truck bed going together, nice and simple in comparison. Just plonk that onto the chassis. I think the truck I'm building doesn't really have all of its truck bed though. And then add mud flaps and wheels. It's the optional stuff, wooden barrels, fairly self-explanatory. They do come with some little cradles to put them on as well. And then you can pop them onto that back. And now looking at this illustration of the driver, I'd have to say that he probably is meant to be military. But you could just not paint him with brown and khaki and instead use blue and black or something to make him civilian if you wanted. There you go. Very comprehensive instruction booklet, and it's got a nice feel of quality about it. It's not thick paper, but it is nicely printed. And there you have it. That is the quite ridiculously detailed Miniart US 1.5 ton 4x4 lorry. What an amazing little kit. And on first glance, I'd have to say I don't have any doubt at all that it's worth 35 of your English pounds. I think the very latest releases of this kit, there are multiple different versions of this basic truck available in the catalogue, and some of them are a bit dearer than that, than this, just creeping over £40 some of them. But for the level of detail included, I don't think that's absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. It seems quite nice. But there you go, that's the Miniart Chevrolet. And as I say, this is going to be put together as part of the Miniart May thing that's going to be running on the Interesting Modelling Company. So if anybody's interested in joining in, then rush out and buy a Miniart kit now. And if you're not interested in joining but you'll be interested in watching along, then keep an eye on this channel and look up the Interesting Modelling Company on Facebook and keep an eye on that page too, and I'm sure you'll see lots of Miniart madness going on next month there. So there you go, a little quick look review on this lovely Miniart kit. You will get to see the build later on, as I say. So with that said, it only remains for me to say, look after yourselves, look after each other, and Genesis out.